Headphones on, pen in hand. Don't take anything for granted. And cherish the journey. Welcome back to Will. Let's just pick up right from our, Is this really where I left off?
为什么我要遭遇这样的事？
Okay, this is where I left off. We had decided that that was the best ending. Except it's not technically her ending. Remember, the ending boxes are white when we get there. At least, once we're able to do this, we can finally progress Chang Gyung-min, our die-hard police fugitive story. Let's finish this madness. I had been toyed with by an infamous and psychopathic security killer. Serial killer. I'm a serial killer. And somehow I was still able to live to tell the tale. It was probably the greatest achievement of my entire life, now and forever. I'd hoped that I could just file a police report and get back to my normal life. But I was too naive. The police sent an officer to investigate my claims, and he asked me to accompany him. The investigation turned out to be very dispiriting. Heavy rain and landslides overnight had washed away all the evidence from where Pi and I had first met. The warehouse that had been used to imprison me belonged to a key factory that had gone bankrupt a long time ago. No useful clues remained in the warehouse except for my own fingerprints. Oh boy. The gate to Apple Manor was locked. According to the official records, the owner had gone abroad a few years ago. We were not allowed to enter without a warrant. Well, okay. But when I was in the bathroom of the police station, I overheard something that depressed me even more. They thought you were Pi. About that young unemployed man. He said he was unwilling to tell his family about the case. Don't you think that's a little suspicious? Exactly. What he told us is so outlandish. Pi is a serial killer who could easily take out a professional boxer. Why would he possibly let such an otaku escape? There's more. He said he had heard the voice of Pi, and it sounded like, what was it exactly? Oh right, a vampire. What a hoot. Maybe he's a junkie. Who knows? So many young people these days just don't want to get a real job. They live off their rich family and just mess around with drugs. You should look into him instead, I think. What about his case, then? Just tell him we'll keep investigating. You know, the usual nonsense. In any case, don't bother with it too much. We're not in charge of Pi's cases anyway. I don't want to waste my time on this. I sat on the toilet, totally stunned. I thought that as long as I told everything to the police, they would surely be able to follow the leads and capture Pi. Didn't you stab him with all of the death juices? I thought they would at least be able to protect me. But now I had nothing but contempt for these useless police. Nothing but contempt. Even more contempt. Fine, if you people don't believe me, I'll prove it myself. Hacked into the surveillance system of Apple Manor. There was indeed not a living soul in the manor. Everything had been meticulously cleaned up by Pi. Okay, so he lived, I guess. Sure. I was about to exit the system and clean up any traces of my invasion. I accidentally noticed a video file named after me in the storage system. Downloading. Playing. I thought it would be a video about me. But it was just a short video that lasted for only for a few seconds. I will find you again. Okay. No. And then I had to scream and drop my favorite Sir Spottie mug. It was smashed in pieces. What was worse was that the video reminded me of the time that Pi had kidnapped me from home while I was asleep. It was basically a pathetic lamb waiting to be slaughtered if I just stayed at home like this. Should I call the police? Don't be silly. They would never take me seriously until I became a dead body. Should I leave Hong Kong? Then it would be like the time when I left Beijing all over again. Perhaps I had to admit to myself that I was a complete and utter loser. In my senior year, I'd had a huge crush on a lovely girl. I'd stalked her, taken photos in secret, and written her anonymous letters. You know, normal things you do when you have a crush on someone. Never had the courage to simply tell her how I felt face to face. Then the photos I took were exposed online, causing her tons of trouble. Remember the day when those photos had been posted? 2 boys from the lower grade were harassing her. I had all my courage went up to stop them, thinking that I would teach them a lesson. As it turns out, I was the one who was then dragged into the bike parking area and beaten up. That was probably the bravest thing that I'd ever done my entire life. I'd always been weak and useless. I wasn't able to help her win a tennis match. I couldn't appreciate an art exhibition. I didn't protect her when she was taken away by bad people. I didn't take her to the hospital when she was ill and passed out. I couldn't even teach some punk kids from the lower grade a lesson. How would it even be possible for her to like someone like me? Eventually I gave up on telling her how I felt. Instead I ran back to Hong Kong after graduation. I also declined all of the jobs that Father had found for me. It wasn't that I didn't like those jobs. I was just worried that if I screwed up, Father would know about it, and that I would get scolded by him. Then I never really went out looking for jobs myself either. Eventually I became a pathetic otaku. I was still good at playing video games. The only reason was that, in the game, I would never have to deal with any real responsibilities, win or lose. I had been running away for my entire life. Where could I even run away to this time? Did I really want to hide in the digital world again? I stared at Pi's short message, completely focused. For 5 hours, from noon until sunset, I finally made up my mind. I took a deep breath and dropped the throw pillow on the floor. What? A few minutes later, I had recorded a video of myself, too, with my own message. Oh. Uploaded. The next 3 days, I collected everything I could find about Pi on the internet, from rumors in random forums to the internal archives of the Hong Kong Police Department Criminal Division. Like a detective on a TV show, I had written down all of the tips on post-it notes. I then pinned them up on a board and connected the clues with threads. Common characteristics shared among Pi's chosen targets: sadistic, male, some kind of abnormal perversion. Pi's own traits: only used knives, preferred to strike at places that the victims frequented, such as their own homes and workplaces, so that it could be quickly discovered and serve as some sort of warning. Preferred to strike during unusual hours of the day. If there wasn't a suitable time window, or if the window was too short, he would strike at another location and transport the body to his preferred location later. Depending on the sins or the fetishes of the victim, Pi would always perform some ritual either before or after the attack. Unlike maximum suffering of the victim, it was typically done before. Afterwards, he would always thoroughly clean up the crime scene. Finally, he would always leave his own trademark, a smiley face. Yeah. Pi must have been a patient, meticulous, and intelligent person. Now that I had holed up myself at home, I must be getting ready to come get me. I'd be even more prepared and ready for when he eventually did. I decided to never set one foot outside my door again, and relied solely on home deliveries. Whenever the food was delivered, I would tell the delivery guy to leave the food at the door. I'd only open the door when I could make sure that nobody was outside. I would leave my bags of trash out when I brought in my food. I heard some ladies yelling about me leaving the garbage out in the hallway, but I had no other choice. I went downstairs to dump my garbage. I would be sure to find an opportunity to kill me. I didn't throw the garbage away, and if Pi didn't show up for 6 months, I'd probably be crushed by my own trash before he killed me. It was a matter of life or death. I didn't want to be remembered as the first person in Hong Kong ever to be killed by his own garbage. First, I'd also installed a full homemade alarm system in my home. I never went to bed without a knife and pepper spray in my hands. It's been my life for 2 months. Jesus. It was a Tuesday. As usual, I had called for my delivery. I was watching anime on my computer as I waited for my dinner. The bell to my apartment rang. The delivery guy showed up in the monitor. Come on up. Just leave the bag at the door. My adrenaline level had risen to the highest it had ever been. The last 2 months I had only ever ordered deliveries from Pizza Hut. The closest one to my place had a total of 28 employees, 7 of whom would be out doing the deliveries. Lefty, Nima, Uncle Quan, Terry, Sonny, plus 2 cooks who occasionally did the legwork too, Sister Wang and Brother Fang. Wow. Okay. Remembered everything about them. Could even tell the distance between the mole on Sister Wang's face and the corner of her mouth in millimeters. That's... sure. The delivery guy downstairs had a mole at the corner of his eye and incredibly pale skin. He was obviously not one of those 7 people. Meanwhile, Pizza Hut hadn't hired a new employee for 2 whole years as business hadn't been going too well for them. Moreover, the manager, old Lou, had always hated good-looking young men. He would never have hired some new guy like this. I logged into the surveillance system and ran some programs. My PDA screen immediately started showing a video from a hidden camera. On the screen, I got up from the computer and walked into the bathroom. The screen then switched to the view inside the bathroom. What? I'm sorry, what? The screen then switched to the view inside the bathroom. I started to undress, stepped into the bathtub, and closed the shower curtain. What? The screen switched again to what was behind the shower curtain. A naked me turned on the shower. Outside of the screen, though, I was still sitting in front of my computer. Oh, fake footage? Based on the games Pi had played with me, I was confident that Pi must be a competent hacker himself. Chances were that he was holding a PDA right now, and looking at the exact same video while he was coming up the stairs. I grabbed the knife and the pepper spray. Is it just me, or am I just really excited for this plot line to be over? Knife and the pepper spray. Oh. Walked into the bathroom. I turned on the shower. I closed the shower curtain. I turned to the laundry basket sitting in the corner. Bought it especially for today. It's an extra large one. Large enough to hide an entire person. Suddenly I felt like I had forgotten something important. I opened the lid. Shit! Not now! I always carelessly throw my dirty clothes in the basket every time I changed out of them, telling myself that I would do the laundry next time. I had forgotten that after 2 months of never actually doing the laundry, the basket was now full. Crap. Put out the dirty clothes and dumped them on the floor, and Pi would be sure to notice something was suspicious. Put him in the shower. Well, Rocky used to always mock me about this. Now I was paying for it. Time kept ticking ahead. At this moment, Pi was probably already standing at my door and getting out his key to unlock the door, which he has. What did I do? Was there anything else inside the bathroom that I could hide inside? The toilet? Sure. How on earth could I hide inside of that? All of a sudden, the bathroom door was slowly pushed open. It was Pi, standing at the doorway, carrying a pizza box, looking right at me. He tipped the pizza hat that was on his head and smiled at me like a true gentleman. Long time no see. I panicked. I even forgot that I had a knife in my hand. I just nervously raised the pepper spray like an idiot. Pi was faster. He pulled out a can of God knows what and immediately sprayed it all over my face. How could this have happened? I planned so carefully, waited for so long, yet I still ended up like this. Because in the end, my friend, you are still Jimmy. Was it my fate to die at his hands? Oh, fuck, this is still going. When my consciousness had finally returned to this world, Pi was standing right in front of me. This time there was no costume, no mask, no voice modulator. You must have thought that I would just kill you in your home and finish it all right. Well, to be honest, games we played together were really enjoyable. So I'd be ashamed to just kill you off like that. In return, I've made some special arrangements just for you this time. Even more spectacular arcade. He gestured behind him. It wasn't a very large room, but I could see all kinds of horrifying tools and devices everywhere. This time, the game would be played on nightmare level. Jimmy. That's fine, Jimmy. Just die. For Homeless Cat, freshwater is one of the biggest challenges we have to face. Puddles on the road are out of question. They are too dirty. Water in the fish tanks of the seafood store isn't bad, but if the owner catches me, he chases me off. Aside from those, there is another good option. Water inside something that humans call a toilet. Oh no. The water there has a slow and steady flow, which always produces the best quality. Oh. Every homeless cat has their own favorite drinking spot. So did I. There's a big building not too far away from the street. Most humans going in and out of the building wore uniforms. Some of them would even salute one another. Speaking of which, why do humans poke themselves in the eyes with their fingers to show their respect? It's a power move. The south side of the building, on the first floor, There was a small window that was always open. I often sneaked into the building through it, and there was a toilet beside that window. I crawled under the door. Opposite the toilet, I could see even more toilets. These two-legged monkeys spent so much effort just so that they could take a dump. What a waste. Tonight I jumped through the window onto the first floor as usual. It was very quiet in the bathroom. I could see the moon through the window, which filled the rooms with silver moonlight. I stood up on the rim of the toilet and drank. I tumbled into the toilet, and the toilet lid dropped with a bang. I jumped upwards. Oh, another bang. My head hit on the lid, but it didn't open. Have I become too old to stand still now? Somebody help me. Meow meow. It was pitch black in the toilet. I pushed my paw through the gap under the lid and wiggled, hoping desperately that someone would see it and help me. All I could hear was myself and some flies buzzing in the bathroom. Had the humans all gone home after work? I struggled for a while until I was totally exhausted. The room quieted down. I thought of the house cats that I despised. One of them had fallen into the toilet in his own house. His human would have gotten them out now, by sure. Out by now, for sure. Then he would take a nice bath and be wrapped up in a warm blanket. Maybe his humans would even play some music and sing for him. I began humming to myself without even realizing it before shutting myself up when I heard how off-key I was. Spottie. Geek in the shell. What? Interesting. I mean, obviously. Obviously, Jimmy needs to fall in the toilet. I wasn't sure if it was me getting older, or that I had become easily scared. I was so startled that I leapt into the air when I heard someone come in. Apparently the person who was on his phone when he came in was also so startled by me that he dropped his phone. What the hell? Why is there a damn cat in here? I picked up his phone and grabbed me by the back of my neck. He threw me out of the window that I had come in from. Oh, Jesus. I thought that I would land on some grass. Oh, what I didn't expect was that a gigantic human-made metal machine had been parked outside the window. One of my front paws hit the machine so hard that it almost got broken. Oh, Jesus. Damn it. If I were younger, I would have scored a perfect landing easily. I massaged my paw and was getting ready to leave. That was when I saw Blackie, whom I hadn't seen for a long time. He seemed to have matured a lot. It wasn't as intimidating as I once remembered. Oh wow, a lot of time has passed, I guess. He said he no longer cared about whether humans preferred dogs or cats. Survival was all that mattered to him. He also told me that his old turf, the pipe in the empty lot, had been taken over by a stinky cat named Gigi. Gigi was a glutton, who would always make the other cats bring him food. They were not even allowed in the lot unless they brought him some tribute. Now the lot always smelled like dead rats. Because of this, the humans living nearby had called people from a homeless animal shelter. They had taken away many homeless cats. You should be careful. Oh! Before he could finish his sentence, Blackie was trapped inside a net. I saw two humans in uniforms holding a bag and a trap net. One was fat, the other was very thin. They were standing only a meter away from me. I had to temporarily forget about the pain in my paw and climbed up a nearby tree as fast as I catly could. I then jumped onto the edge of a roof. Fortunately, I was able to get away. Farewell, Blackie. Smelly cat. Whoa, what? Okay, something incredible and weird happened. In panic, I put one foot in the toilet, but it somehow sucked my entire body inside. A huge noise immediately followed, and I could see nothing but darkness. From a scientific point of view, this was absolutely ridiculous and impossible. Yet there was no other reasonable explanation. My body had just shrunk. My back was against the cool, slippery, arc-shaped ceramic wall. It was also sticking to the wall because of some smelly and muddy stuff. Oh. Lovely. Before my brain could get a chance to process all of this, I was slipping down faster and faster. And then splash! I felt as if I had just fallen from the sky into an ocean. My mouth and nose were submerged in a foul-smelling liquid in an instant. It didn't matter too much where I was at this point, because I couldn't swim. How could this have happened? I planned so carefully, waited for so long, yet I still ended up like this. Was it my fate to die at his hands? Clearly that's the best. Clearly that's the optimal ending here. Clearly. Oh. Yes, it was. Your fate was to fall into the toilet, Jimmy. This is Jimmy's ending letter. Good God. Yeah? Yeah? Think I'm too old to stand still now? Somebody help me. Meow meow. I was scared shitless in the toilet when a human finally opened the lid. What the hell? Why is there a damn cat here? Grabbing by the back of my neck with a disgusted look on his face, he threw me out of the window that I'd come in from. You made middle machine. Almost got broken. If I were younger, I would have easily scored a perfect landing. Massaged my paw and was getting ready to leave. But I saw Blackie. Just inadvertently get the same ending. Stinky cat named Gigi. And he says, Blackie was trapped inside the net. Climbed a nearby tree. Jumped on the edge of the roof. I was able to get away. Farewell, Blackie. That was the exact same ending. I know their choice but to follow my original plan. Pulled out half the dirty clothes and tossed them aside, then I climbed into the basket and closed the lid. Tried to observe what was going on through the holes in the wicker basket. Bathroom door was pushed open. A slim, menacing figure walked in. I held my breath and my knife and pepper spray tight in my hands. May the goddess bless me. 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 It's. And then he sprayed you through the holes in the, Pie slowly crouched down. He stared at the holes in the basket. Hi. His expression went from suspicious to certain. Long time no see. Goddess had forsaken me once again. Because you just sat there like a fucking idiot, Jimmy. Why? Why? I stood up in the basket screaming and stabbed at him with a knife in my hand. Pie casually blocked the knife with the pizza box. There wasn't pizza inside the box, but something metal. He'd been well prepared all along. Mr. Canna God knows what sprayed off my face. Asked how could this happen to me? I made my mistakes. Sorry, Jimmy, I've firmly checked out of your story. So, okay, this is new. Time to fall into the toilet again. Drinking when I heard a loud engine booming outside the window. Lawnmower? Kind of sound like it only produced by one of those human-made machines. Even the window of the bathroom began shaking because of the noise. After a few seconds, the open window pane was shaken shut. Oh shit. Oh no! The door of the room was closed too. There was no one inside. I knocked on the door, hoping to hear someone from the other side of the door. It seemed that there was no one left either. Are the humans all going home after work? Do I have to wait here until morning? No, 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 meow. Bad. It sucked me in, dude. Okay, there's another toilet ending. From a scientific point of view, this was absolutely ridiculous and impossible. My body had just shrunk! My back was against the slimy toilet that I never cleaned. Well, okay. Before my brain could get a chance to process all of this, I was suddenly blinded by a sudden burst of light. The sight I had just seen had me gasping in shock. Ew, this is disgusting. A loud muffled voice came from above. I saw a pale face with blue eyes appear in an oval-shaped gap. Fortunately for me, Pie didn't see me. What? Fortunately, though, he was reaching for the button on the water tank. Wait, no! A huge booming sound came from somewhere above me. Several torrential streams burst out from the toilet rim. It was a futile struggle in the rolling whirlpool. It was finally swallowed by the tsunami in the toilet. Sure. I mean, sure, why not? Oh, new Spottie. Fucking bitch. Ooh, a man pushed open the door and walked in while on his phone. He saw me standing in the toilet, did a double take, and walked into the next stall. Okay. He was still on his phone while doing his business. Close eye on it for the next couple of days. Call me immediately. About to drink some more when I heard a loud engine booming outside the window. It kind of sounded like it only be produced by one of those human-made machines. Even the window of the bathroom began shaking because of the noise. After a few seconds, the open window pane was shaken shut. Oh no! I was a lucky Spottie. Man had just finished his business. He was walking out, still holding the phone. I shrewdly followed him and left the bathroom. Ah, okay. Not bad. Let's ask for Spottie. I mean, really, can we just leave this ending for Jimmy? I vote we just leave this ending for Jimmy. Because now, Jang-Min is unlocked. Okay, we'll try an S rank to me, I guess. As if it's this, I'm gonna be up to you. Are you shitting me? Are you kidding? No. Something incredible and weird happened. In a panic, I put one foot in the toilet, but it somehow sucked my entire body inside. A huge noise immediately followed, and I could see nothing but darkness. From a scientific point of view, it was absolutely ridiculous and impossible. Yet there was no other reasonable explanation. My body had just shrunk. To keep myself from sliding down further, I jumped upwards as hard as I could. My head bumped into something, but surprisingly, it didn't stop me. I landed next to the toilet. Aside from spilling a little, my body seemed to have changed back to normal. After a brief period of shock, I realized that this must have been a blessing from the goddess of fortune. Okay. She had given me a place to hide. I had entered the apartment. Didn't have much time for anything else. I didn't have much time for anything else. I quickly grabbed a rope I had lying around and stepped into the toilet one more time, turning into a Lilliputian. Sure. I hid in the toilet and I saw Pi walk into the bathroom. He looked like a giant to me. I could see every fiber on his Pizza Hut uniform, every blonde hair on his arm, every long eyelash around his eyes. Pi looked around. He even checked the laundry basket. My heart skipped a few beats. Thank God I wasn't hiding in there. Finally, he grabbed the shower curtain with his hand, but he didn't immediately pull it open. It couldn't be. Did he see through my setup? My magic setup? My hiding in the toilet setup? However, the goddess Wait ordered me another blessing. Pi sneezed. Yes, he just sneezed. He involuntarily pulled open the shower curtain, unveiled the trap I had set up. A huge amount of liquid suddenly ejected from the wall. Pi was pushed back by the power of the eruption. And then he slipped and fell to the ground. He covered his face with his hand and started screaming in pain. It was not just regular pepper spray. It was my personal invention. Filling a fire extinguisher with jalapeno water and pepper spray, and I named it the the super awesome anti-pie spray machine. Both the power and the simulation were absolutely top-notch. I jumped back out of the toilet. My body returned to normal once again. I picked up the lid from the water tank. Smashed it onto his head as hard as I could. What a small world. The officers who came to my apartment, the same ones who had been suspicious of me. One who wanted to investigate me even gave me a meaningful look before he left. Of course, they didn't say anything else except to politely thank me for my assistance. And I, of course, politely gave him the finger. After I sent the police away, the next day the news of Pi being captured was everywhere. They even published Pi's family background and history, although no one would know if they were true or not. Whatever the case, I couldn't care any less. On my firm insistence, the police agreed to not reveal the truth of how Pi had been captured. Because they never fucking believe that Mr. Hackerman fucking hid in his toilet. I did not want to be in the paper once again. The world was full of surprises, but life still went on. I did a thorough cleaning of my apartment. I even cleaned the dust that had been piling up in my computer case for years. Looking at my nice and sparkling clean room, I felt like my mood was finally brightening up too. I stayed inside for a few more days. Then I went and visited my parents. I also visited lots of places around Hong Kong. Everywhere I went, I would go and check the bathroom there. I would try to jump in the toilet, and then jump back out again. Of course, I only chose the ones that looked clean. Despite still not knowing how it happened that day, I had indeed gained a special power. Furthermore, I had a new hypothesis, too. What if the toilet was not connected to the sewer? What if at the bottom of the toilet there was simply another opening? Would I be able to stay shrunk and still... Ever since I had this thought, I began to often get too excited to fall asleep at night. I'd lie in the bed, stare at my collection of Marvel comic books on the shelf, and start fantasizing. Not that I had the superpower, I had special responsibilities as well, right? God! What did we do to deserve this?
Porque siempre me pasa esto.
Okay. That got us a Carlos letter. That's acceptable. I'm always down for more Carlos. Huh? Okay, so we need Cheng Yongmin to enter the passcode and open the door. What was Alicia's guess, though? Nothing inside. Didn't notice there's someone behind the door. So this should be S on both ends. There's a stack of files in the safe. I flipped through them quickly. They were exactly what I had been looking for. Before I could find out where the lieutenant was being held, I heard somebody walking in my direction. I quietly closed the safe, hid the files under my jacket, and snuck into the bathroom. In the men's bathroom, there was a stall that had a window to the outside. It wasn't too big, but it was enough for an adult like me to climb out. The back door of the station was not far away from the outside of the window. So I left the station without being seen by anyone, just like that. According to the files, Lieutenant Kang was being held at Detention Center Number 6. It was one of the special facilities that were used specifically to hold suspects of special interest. I hid the files in the tall grass, not too close to the detention center. When I walked up to the entrance empty-handed, I showed the guard my ID and told him that I'd like to see Lieutenant Kang. Kang back, yeah. The guard checked the record book in his hand. No visitation is allowed with this person. Check again. I'm a police officer. Waved my ID again to prove my identity. Doesn't matter. You need special permission to visit him. He shook his head and closed the book. I didn't leave immediately as I tried to think of another way to get in. My forehead started to sweat under the guard's suspicious stare. You wanted to see Kang back, yeah? What's your name? The guard over 2 meters tall was standing behind me. I haven't even noticed him there. It startled me when he suddenly spoke. I showed him my police ID. I had my name and my unit on it. The tall guard gave me back my ID and nodded at the guard. He then said, "Follow me." As soon as I saw Lieutenant Kang sit down on the other side of the glass, I immediately picked up the phone on the wall. I had to take this chance to ask him to tell me everything. Lieutenant Kang held the phone up to his mouth and mumbled something quietly. I could understand that he might be feeling low, but this was not the time. I came here to help him, but I couldn't hear him at all. "What was that, Lieutenant? I can't hear you." Lieutenant Kang leaned forward and got closer to the glass. Despite knowing that his voice could only come through the phone, I couldn't help but lean forward, too. Then he spoke. I was so shocked that I sprung back into my seat and I almost dropped the phone in my hand. I didn't realize that. Whoa. I didn't realize that the man sitting right in front of me was Officer Ji-yoon. Oh. How did they arrange that? Okay, we got more letters now.
내 탓이야. 바보같이.
Oh. Jimmy is finally over. Yeah, I mean, as much as this plotline to end Jimmy's story frustrated me, I can live with him coming out of his otaku funk and learning to take care of himself. I can accept that. Okay. Lead Blue Lady. The wind was getting stronger when I left the detention center. Everyone on the street was walking very fast, probably anxious to get home. How did Gangbek and Officer Ji-yoon switch places? I have to go back and check the Gangbek's last letter that we have. I held on tightly to a piece of paper in my hand so that it wouldn't get blown away. Really, I had written down a short note in a hurry. Blue Lady, Jaegal Wan-yoon. That was the message Officer Ji-yoon had left me. I hadn't expected that she would be the one being detained in place of Lieutenant Kang. Retransfiguration was not as complicated as I had thought. And again, where was Lieutenant Kang? I was hoping to see him. The plan hadn't worked either. And now this note was the only lead I had. I had to go to Blue Lady and find this person named Jaegal Wan-yoon. Blue Lady was an infamous gay bar in Busan. Oh. For police and gangs in particular, it was infamous because it was an establishment that belonged to the Boom gang. I sat down at the bar and ordered a glass of orange juice. I checked my surroundings. Quite a few people seemed to be giving me strange looks. They were whispering something under their breath. I didn't quite fit in at a place like this. What do you mean? You fit in perfectly. Whatever, I had real business to worry about. Speaking of business, who was this Jaegal Wan-yoon? Was he a frequent customer? Or the owner of the place? I waved the bartender over, hoping to ask him about this name. Before I opened my mouth, I suddenly felt a heavy blow to my head. My face landed in the bar. Oh, oops. After who knows how long. I heard some slapping noises and I felt pain in my face. I finally opened my eyes. Judging from the lights outside the window, I must be on the second floor of the bar. I see office desks, couches, folding chairs, tables, and pool tables in the room. There was even a coconut tree? I tried to sit up, but I realized that my left hand had been cuffed to a desk leg. Some young men surrounded me at the wall. They all looked like they were in a gang. One of them had a full head of curly hair, and he was crouched next to me. He kept slapping me in the face with what felt like a card. I struggled to move my face away before I saw that he was holding my police ID. Oh. Who knew that a police officer would be hanging out here? If you don't tell us what you're really here for, we're gonna think that you're here looking for some fun. His buddies all laughed. This didn't look good. I didn't want to cause too much trouble. I just needed to get out of this as soon as possible. The curly-haired man kicked me in the stomach. Talk! You think that we, the Boom Boom Gang, are an easier target than the Musun Gang? If we want, I guarantee we'll make you feel something. Well, ecstatic. Dude, that's the wrong word. It should be excruciating. A man nearby with split bangs tried to correct the curly-haired guy, who immediately slapped him on the head instead. The door opened. All of the men who were laughing hysterically took one glance at the door and immediately stood up straight, shouting, "Good evening, sir!" A very tall man had just walked into the room. He was wearing a pink, flowery shirt and a pair of leafy green beach shorts and looked incredibly tropical. He quickly noticed what had been going on. "What do you guys have here?" "It's a cop sneaking around the bar. We were just about to question it." The curly-haired guy very formally handed him my police ID. The other guys picked me back up, then slammed me face down onto the desk. The man called sir, then caressed my back with one hand. Very fit. Lots of potential. What? Potential? What potential? You talking about joining their business? What kind of sick joke was that? It was someone who had dreams of defending justice and becoming a real hero. To keep myself from getting into more trouble, I had to keep it under control. I mean, my only love here is justice. However, even though if I could control my anger, I couldn't fully control my body. If it didn't stop soon, I was going to let out a... Oh, loud fart. I remember seeing a diagram of a human brain way back then. It would write lots of words on the brain, representing what the person was thinking at the time. If someone were to draw a diagram of my brain right now, it would be filled with the word fart. Even worse, it might be running out of space. I don't know how to feel about this. After giving me another pinch on my butt, the man finally stopped molesting me. Oh, I didn't know. You were here looking for me. Oh, I turned around. I saw he was holding the note I had put in my pocket. I finally understood. The sir in front of me was Jigal Wang Yum, the boss of this bar. I never would have imagined him to be a bona fide gangster, leader of the Sin Su group within the Boom 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 gang. But would Officer Ji-yoon asked me to come and find him? "You're a Kang Baek-yas man. What do you want from me?" I caught the ID that he had thrown back at me. The ID only said that I was in Unit 4 of the Busan Police Precinct, so he must know about Lieutenant Kang. I still couldn't figure out what their relationship was. Friends? Or foes? Maybe he was Lieutenant Kang's informant. In any case, since Officer Ji-yoon had asked me to find him, it must be someone who could help. I briefly explained the reason for my visit. He mentioned that Officer Min-jun had been murdered. Although I withheld most of the details about Lieutenant Kang's situation, I was thinking that I should at least feel him out first. He just chuckled and lit a cigarette. "Kid, are you trying to hold something back?" "Oh, bad move. You're 10 years too young to play this game with me. Let me put it this way. I'm an information broker. If you want information from me, you need to trade something. It's that simple. Understand?" He blew smoke into my face, smiling, and held my left hand steady. Took out the tail that I hid in my right palm. Reached for the pocket on my shirt. "What?" Bit my lip and said, "Fine. How about this?" I handed in my weapon and pulled out a small notepad from my pocket. All the trivial information I had collected during all of my cases since joining the force. Wow. Most of the information was about the Musun gang, although there was some about the Boom Moon gang, too. It wasn't particularly important or classified, otherwise I wouldn't be carrying it on me like this. Since he had mentioned trade, he must mean something with something like this, then. Supposed I wouldn't be able to buy it with money. Took my notepad, flipped through it quickly, and tossed it into the trash can. Then he made a gesture. Men who had been watching us in the room the whole time immediately surrounded me. Then they started to mercilessly beat me up. Jigal Wang Yum stood outside the circle and gently said, "Young man, you're not cut out to be a policeman. You're definitely not cut out to be Baek-yas man. If you ever dare show your face on my turf again, you will be dead." After those words, they tossed me out from the second floor window. Oh. I fell into the garbage container in the back alley. It hurt so bad that I couldn't move for a while. The night was freezing cold. I was so stupid to make such a careless move. What exactly did he want, though? Django Min. Okay. Interesting. Let's see what we can do. Let's see. beam of silver light flashed in the air, and the cigarette in Jigal Wan Yum's mouth was cut in half. My tail had also left a bloody scratch on his face. Oh. People in the gang were all evil. I had to teach them a lesson. Men who had been watching by the walls immediately had me surrounded, with all kinds of weapons in their hands. I had planned for the worst possible case. If necessary, I would knock every single one of them out. Jigal Wang Yun waved his hand and stopped his men. Becky has mentioned you to me several times. You're exactly like what he said. What a shame. Brave but stupid. Tell you what, we'll take care of this case. As for you, you should consider staying here and helping us out. I could use someone like you. I felt a sudden spell of dizziness. The smoke he had blown at me earlier was hypnotic. When I woke up, I found myself locked in a small room. Someone brought me meals every day. I recognized his face, and I realized that I was probably still in the custody of the Moon Moon gang, although I couldn't figure out what their purpose was. Meanwhile, I was really worried about Lieutenant Kang, and how the investigation of Officer Min Jun's murder had been going. 2 weeks later, they finally let me out. Jigal Wan Yum told me in person that Lieutenant Kang had fled to another country and he was fine. He even set up a video chat with Lieutenant Kang, showing me that he was indeed safe. In the end, I wasn't able to help Lieutenant Kang at all. Neither could anyone on the police force, but was someone in the gang who had saved him. A sense of justice had taken a shock. I became depressed for quite some time. After Lieutenant Kang left, Officer Ji Yun and I were transferred to Unit 1. Those days without Lieutenant Kang were not only boring, they also had nothing to do with justice whatsoever. I eventually came to terms with what had happened. Maybe it was out of my curiosity about Jigal Wan Yun, my gratitude for his help with Lieutenant Kang. But I decided to resign from the police and went back to Blue Lady once again. Became a bartender. Every day I heard all kinds of interesting stories with the customers. Occasionally I would help deal with some of the guests who were causing trouble. One day, some customers told me that something major had happened at the Busan Police Precinct. However, I didn't really care about that place anymore. As long as I have justice in my heart, I could still be a hero. Oh. Is this an ending? No, that's not an ending. Okay, there's still more to go. Oh wow. There's literally only... Okay, let's do it. Let's fucking go. A beam of silver light flashed in the air. My left middle finger flew off from my hand. Holy shit. Blood. Whoa. Blood was dripping out of the wound and left some red dots on the floor. I covered my entire left hand with my right one and dropped to the ground, rolling in pain. It's yours. Fuck you. And I fainted. Call a doctor. No, you idiot. Not Dr. Chang, Dr. Wang. The one who lives at Gai Yun Dong. I heard Jigal Wan Yum yelling at his men, and opened my eyes just a little bit to take a peek at what was happening. He threw away the cigarette in his hand and carried me onto a couch. His men were in complete disarray after being shouted at by their boss. I had made the right call. If this man were a true friend of Lieutenant Kang, then he must value loyalty and bravery. If all he had cared about was profit and benefit, and even if he had seen through my performance, he would at most get a beating. And I could still give him what he wanted. Then I still could have give him what he wanted to trade for the information. Nevertheless, this was the best result I could have hoped for. What? I finally burst out laughing and sat back up on the couch with a hand holding my stomach. Then I stood up at Jigal Wan Yu, as Jigal Wan Yu looked on, stunned, picked up the severed finger from the ground with my perfectly intact left hand, smiling at him. Bought the fake finger at a small shop on the way here. Not only did they have fake fingers, there were also fake ears, eyes, and everything. The owner had said to me that if he wanted to survive in a gang, these were all necessities. If I bought the whole set, he could give me a discount. So I did, and I had hidden them all on me. It turned out that they were indeed quite valuable. You bastard. Jigal Wan Yum fell into the couch, laughing hysterically. Well, I guess, Becky, I pegged you wrong completely. You told me you were just a serious and boring fool. He told his men to make us some tea, and then began to tell me everything he knew about the case. 2 hours later, I drank the last cup of tea and left Blue Lady. I started walking toward Officer Min Jun's home in the cold, biting wind. Nice. Good plan, my man.
부처님, 나도 좀 도와줘요.
Lead. Key fob. Alright. We are going places. What was your last? Suddenly had an idea. Need some help. So that was what he had arranged for. Way back then. Was to swap places. With Officer Ji-Yun and go out and do his own thing. Does that mean we're going to encounter him again? For now we have a lead, and I think we'll open up the next episode with that.